make a move and the bunny gets it.
I said, put the bunny back in the box. Why couldn't you put the bunny back in the box?
It's showtime.
Psychically, I'm very well endowed.
I wanna know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I wanna know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
I am the last Starfighter.
Good luck, Alex.
Hey everybody, welcome to Monday Night Show, as the bunny is thinking about. And I started seeing some stuff over the weekend, talking about the 40th anniversary of last Starfighter. It was actually 2 years ago, but for some reason, I think there was a recent 4K release or something that happened. So people kind of spin back on the radar. And I've always loved the last Starfighter. I've always felt like it was like the rural redneck Star Wars, you know. It's the mainly because the lead character is trailer trash. You know, which, you know, hits a little close to home. You know, so, you know, granted, he's from rural California, which is a little different from rural around here. But they're from a trailer park, you know, and so in a lot of ways that's endearing to, you know, to people my socioeconomic strata. And so, you know, in a way, you know, Alex, the lead character, kind of appeals more to the rural area than say, you know, pretty much any other like main protagonist. They all seem to be city dwellers and urbanites. So it's kind of rare to have a lead character that's from kind of like the, I would say the ghetto, the white ghetto, basically, even though, you know, the trailer park's got you know, other races and stuff in it. But it's, you know, also around this time, video arcades were like the thing, okay? Yeah, it's dating itself a little bit. It's 1984. And so, like a big feature of this movie was actually a video game. But the video game in question was more advanced than anything that was currently in the arcades at that time. But the movie only made back double its original budget. And so because of that, it wasn't considered a big enough hit to continue the production of the video game, but enough of it has survived enough for people to be very impressed. It's one of the more advanced video games of its era, and it was made for the movie. The visuals were made for the movie, but the video game they were playing was actually functional. It's pretty mind numbing for the era. So let me show you the original trailer. Hopefully this won't get us struck, but who knows these days. Got to play it, so here you go.
Alex Rogan lives in a small trailer park in the California mountains. He has a dream to go to college.
You guys think I'm gonna hang out here, watch you shine your pickup? Forget it, man. I'm doing something with my life.
Start a career.
You really are leaving here, aren't you?
Of course I'm going away. We're both going away.
Both of us, Alex.
And most of all, to get out.
You get your chance. Important thing is when it comes, you gotta grab it with both hands.
Then, one night, a mysterious stranger offers Alex an opportunity he never dreamed of.
Who are you?
I'm Centauri, and you may... No, you must trust me implicitly. Get in.
Nothing Alex Rogan has ever imagined could prepare him for what he is about to experience.
Hey.
Why was Alex chosen? And will he ever return?
Where are we going? Trust me. Oh, you're gonna love it. Love it. Look out! Oh, dear.
The last Starfighter.
I
His
gotta love it.
adventure in space is about to begin.
Now, that's it's kind of more of a teaser trailer than it is an actual trailer, but that just kind of gets you started. The Centauri character is just awesome character. He's played by a famous musical actor, an actor that's in a lot of in musicals back in the day. I think he was in Cabaret. He was also in he was the lead character in Music Man. So he kind of, this was his last role. I think he was diagnosed with cancer shortly after this role. He might have been dealing with cancer while he's doing this role, because, actors back then, they were a different breed. But, it's just an incredible story, about a young man who's wanting to get out of the trailer park, and he's, kind of like stuck being the responsible one while everybody else is partying and having fun. But he's like all about the future, all about getting out of Dodge, and he has a, college disappointment, but there's this one thing that he kind of does to pass the time. And there's this game cabinet up at the store, and he's kind of become the big guy on that thing. So one night he breaks the record. The whole entire trailer park gathers around him because evidently there's not much else to do, but they're all cheering him on. It's a big thing. And then next thing you know, this weird guy shows up and says, "Oh, I created the game. Will come with me." And he got nothing else better to do. Steps into the car. Next thing you know, he gets his he like shakes hands with something and zaps him. Like the thing hops out, and then it turns out that's like a decoy or whatever. So people don't miss him. And he goes and it turns out that the game is true, and it's he is actually being asked to join the Starfighter, so the league. And And this is like way more than he signed on for. And so, he's a well-written character. You know, well-written characters, they don't always do the heroic thing at first. Okay, a recent example is probably, Project Hail Mary, where that guy literally had to be press ganged into heroism, but he winds up, being a hero all the same. Well, in a lot of ways, Alex is kind of like the same. He's like, no, 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 I don't want to do this. And so, because he's not really supposed to be there, because humans are kind of like considered too primitive to be part of it anyway. They send him home, but then when he gets home, while he gets home, the Starfighter Legion, the Gunstars all get wiped out, except for one prototype. And Centauri, during the melee, gets like shot, and he gets is basically there's like one chance that they've got, and they've got to go find somebody who can pilot the gun seat on a Gunstar. And there's really only one guy left, and that's Alex. And so Centauri goes back to get him, and basically he gets the opportunity handed to him that to pretty much protect his world, to be a hero. And while it's before, he was balking because, he just didn't sign on for this. Now he's been faced with the idea that he's the only chance I've got. And so while it's before, he was like, okay, they got plenty of people. I can opt out of this. But now he's kind of like faced with the opportunity, basically faced with the reality that he's the only chance I got. And so he comes back, he heads back. Centauri dies, when he gets him back. So he has that moment, like most 80s movies, the mentor's got to die. Last Starfighter, yeah. Skylights, yeah, I guess you probably definitely watched this when you was a kid. Well, if you want to, Keith, I'll send you a link you can hop on. But one of the things that is really cool about The Last Starfighter is the technology. This was 1984. I think Tron had just come out the year before, or it was not come out yet. But this technology that they were using is basically pure computer animation, and this took days to render, and like coding. Basically, everything was coded by hand, and essentially there wasn't a lot of digital outputs to see what the results were. And so basically they would spend hours rendering something and then look at the footage and then decide whether or not this was it, whether it had to be, re-rendered or programmed, or if it was usable. And so this was a process that just was painstaking. And but at the time when it came out, the graphics were unlike anything anybody had ever seen. There's a recent 4K that just came out. Let me play that trailer for you guys. Hopefully, it will let me. Let me see here. Okay. Oh, Wookiee Fever. Great sci-fi movie. Too bad it never had a sequel. Well, it made back twice its budget, and that wasn't enough. They were expecting to do Star Wars numbers back then, and it just didn't make Star Wars numbers. So it was considered a failure.
Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada.
Yeah.
Get ready. Prepare for blast off.
Centauri's the name. We have to talk about a matter of utmost importance.
Yep.
I invented Starfighter. You may have thought it was a game,
graphics on that
but it was
game.
also a test. A test!
They actually created
Sent out
it.
across the universe to find those
They've never
with the
released
gift
it.
to be Starfighters.
Whatever happens, it's you and me forever, right?
We turn to you,
Yeah.
starfighters, the navigators, for of all the billions of creatures in the Star League, you alone,
Right.
stand between us and the black terror of the Kodan.
So this is all like practical effects
Kodan Armada will
in computer generated. Brand new.
your mighty Starfighter will be able to save you.
There's no fleet, no starfighter, no plan. It'll be a slaughter.
That's the spirit.
Proceed with visual attack formation.
Greg is awesome.
Listen, Centauri, I'm not any of those guys. I'm a kid from a trailer park.
If that's what you think, then that's all you'll ever be.
Oh, hey, that's a big line.
Victory or death. Victory or death.
Now face it, Alex.
Now I live where it close.
You're a born Starfighter.
Neat. Oh, hold on. 1 second, guys. I have to get back. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. I have to get back into here. I accidentally closed that out. One second. All right. Yeah, I accidentally closed the wrong window there for a second. So I've got like 2 in here. How did I do that? All right. There we go. All right. Anyway, that's driving me crazy. So I'm not sure how I did this. But I got 2 versions of myself. Anyway. All right, I'll deal with it. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Mr. Morange there evidently lives near it. How did I do this? StreamYard's is buggy, y'all. Anyway. All right. Everybody still hear me? Okay. So basically, it's an incredible science fiction movie. It's very, very 80s. It's extremely 80s. But that's part of its charm. That's part of its charm. Basically, one of the things that I think hurts it. Yep. All right. Appreciate it, man. But one of the things that really kind of makes it special is the characters in it. You know, a lot of the times we see in these movies, it's like caricatures, okay? But if you watch it, the trailer park is a community. It's a true community. You know, it has the full range of what you're going to find in a trailer park, and I can speak to this. But you've got your meatheads, you've got your good girls, you've got your you got your elderly people who are like the sages, retirees and people like that. And then you have your dreamers, and Alex happens to be one of the dreamer. And you got other people who think that the trailer park is all there is, and that's the world. And Alex basically he thinks that there's got to be more out there. And this movie is kind of like him getting the opportunity that he's dreaming about, because he's got like a universe like in his bedroom. It's kind of like one of those models of the universe, and he stares at it all the time. And now he's getting this opportunity to actually go there, and I think one of the appeals of The Last Starfighter is that we all kind of assume that if we had the opportunity, if we were given the opportunity to be heroic, that we would have it in us. And this Last Starfighter, we see this guy who's basically, he's an ordinary kid. Yeah, he might have better reflexes than the norm because, he does so well in the game. But for the most part, as much as his only aspirations basically go to college and get out of town. And he's had this opportunity to get out of the universe, And basically, he gets the opportunity to go against an impossible odd, and they're only one left, and they've got to defeat an army, and all he's got is this crazy lizard guy named Grig, who's like the best pilot in the fleet, but and he's a great character. Just yet another great character. Grig is the dude. Love Grig. So let me play this sequence for a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to play it like more than just a couple minutes at a time, but I wanted to play this part. So, hopefully I won't get struck. I'm going to have to talk some over it. Got to pause it a lot. Maybe we can get through this. But we'll find out.
Command ship. There, the turret at the far end. I see it.
Tracking alert.
Unidentified craft. What is it? Wait. Gunstar. So, the last Starfighter is dead? This has gone far enough. Seize him!
How dare you? I am the Emperor of Violence. I and I alone command this entire Release me! I command you! You will pay for this with your life!
Zerg. He's such a nepo baby. What an annoying creep. But great villain, great villain. Let me point out that all of these displays that you're seeing took hours and hours and hours of rendering to get those graphics. We're talking 1984 here. I mean, we're talking home consoles are not that far away from, they're basically Atari at this point. And yet, they're doing these renderings, these really complicated renderings, and taking hours and hours with computers. Their most advanced computers are probably not as good as my laptop that I'm using right now. And yet, this passion that it took to do these graphics, and even just the display that he was looking at, just it's a different breed. It's definitely a different era. We need to get back to that kind of love, don't we? Let me play a little bit more. I think I'm still up, so here we go.
All guns, fire!
There it is! The turret!
Alex, now!
Yes! Got it!
Hurry, Alex, fire! The armada's almost around us! Gunstar has gone from our senses. Alert wing commanders.
Communication turret is destroyed.
Alright, that's good enough. But, I mean, when you look at that graphics, I mean, by our day-to-day standards, they don't really hold up very well. But, I mean, the 4K, did a lot of heavy lifting there. I mean, they do look more closer to modern day standards. I was playing with Grok earlier. Now, my idea is if you feed those sequences into an AI, you could update these graphics so easily. And since I got that 4K rendering, I mean, obviously they have digital files that are good enough. And so my hope is that maybe in the future they'll feed it into an AI, and like get it up to all the way up to our standards, and maybe do a re-release. This sounds like a little bit like heresy, but let me play you some things. I was kind of playing around with Grok earlier, and let me show you some sequences that I just created, just playing around. Here you go. There's the first one. Okay. That's Grok. So, it's one of the better ones on the market, I think. But I'm using kind of like the free, not the free bit of it, but I mean, I'm actually paying but one of the lower tiers. So I'm operating at 720 here. Maybe 15 seconds is the max that I can do. But here's another one. So that's a pretty cool ship there. But you know, you can see a lot of detail, and you can see a lot of three-dimensional elements. And this is how far along we've come. You know, here's the last one. If you want a little bit of a space battle. Okay, that one had a lot of artifacts in it. Would have to be cleaned up, but you kind of get the idea. And so I'm just saying that the last Starfighter is not that far off, and could be very easily updated to modern standards, whatever those are, because it's got the writing, it's got the acting, it's got the plot. It's got a lot of cool creature designs and things like that, and the practical sets look amazing. Still to this day, I mean, they really took care, a lot of concern with how they look. And so the only thing that keeps the last Starfighter from looking modern. Now, when George Lucas used practical models and moved them through actually space, he made sure that, you know, the Star Wars was not going to look dated, because practical effects date very well. They don't age like digital effects. Digital effects always age like milk. And so, you know, George Lucas using practical effects was a great decision. And it's the reason why you can look at Star Wars New Hope, made back in 1973, and it still looks good. It doesn't take you out of verisimilitude or anything like that. But the last Starfighter, their choice to use digital effects, which at that time were state of the art, may have been cheaper in the short run, but it dated the movie. Dated these great sequences, you know. And so what I would like to see happen is that it would not take all that much money to take those digital effects, which they spent money bringing up to 4K, and feed them into a good AI and bring them all the way up to modern standards, or to a standard that's going to age better. But the thing about it is the bones are there. There's a great movie, even if they don't do that. It's still a very good movie. It's still enjoyable. It's still excitable, and it's still exciting. Exciting, not excitable. Exciting. Sorry about that. But this is what's available now. Is taking movies that may have dated somewhat. Maybe even Tron would be something you could update or do something with. But I mean, as much as heretical as that sounds, I would say that taking Ray Harryhausen movies, maybe running through an AI and smooth out the little bit of jerkiness that came from the stop motion and smooth it out. I don't know if that might take a little bit of the charm out of it. I don't know. I don't know what that would look like. But if we were to not like make things from scratch, but maybe take good things and enhance them. You know, I think the beauty of AI is when you have good ideas, you have something quality, and you just use AI to bring it up to a higher level and just enhance what's already there. I think that's the best use of AI possible. You know, some of the stuff I'm doing with my community service characters, I just kind of like as a little bit of a jab at the pinup craze that's in comics, you know, or all the females get scantily clad or whatever, the swimsuit issues and things like that. I did a kind of a swimsuit pinup of my character Ironsides. You know, first of all, he's not a young guy, so he's an older guy. Second of all, he's a guy, which most of the pinups are females, right? And I just kind of for my own amusement, I had one made. But I was messing with AI, and I got it down to where an actual physical Ironsides, you know, is smoking his pipe and looking out at the sunset. And I'm tempted to do something with that, but you know, just taking something crazy like that and just enhancing what's there and do something cinematic with it, you know. The Last Starfighter is would be such a great canvas for that kind of an update, because it's got everything. It's got all the great characters, all the great plot, all the great, you know, acting, and it's all it's lacking is an updated technology, and all it's lacking is the visual element, and it's not that far off as it is. And so I'm, you know, even they've been talking about maybe doing a Starfighter 2, Last Starfighter 2. And if they were to do that, they would need to update Starfighter 1 to modern standards so they wouldn't look different. That's why Lucas says that he updated the first 3 movies with CGI before he ever came out with the prequels, because he wanted them to look uniform. And I've got the originals and I've got his updates, and a lot of his updates weren't improvements. But some of them were. Some were really cool. But you know, you've got 2 different philosophies at work here. You've got the sacred cow philosophy, that this is the way it came into the earth, it came into the pop culture, and that's the way it should stay forever, for the duration. Because if you alter it, then you're changing what made it great in the first place. And then there's the philosophy of, why not improve what's there and take what's special about it and enhance it to the point where the obsolescence gets completely drained out of it. And I think there's an argument to be made. Me personally, I would buy day one a update of the sequences. I mean, the 4K looks great, and it's probably worth getting a copy of. But I'm saying that this movie deserves better than it's gotten. I mean, 40 years on, with what we've gotten since and what we're getting now, this movie's superior in every way but the technology. So why not bring it up to par with the technology? It's already a great movie. But I know that there's people that would come after me with pitchforks and torches, because AI is the devil, and we're gonna stick our fingers in our ears, and we're going to stick our heads in the sand and let it pass us by because of some kind of righteousness that brings us. And so we're going to ignore this tool that's now available to us, readily available, because reasons. And we're going to let people who have incompetently destroyed all of pop culture have exclusive use of it, because we're superior in some way morally. And so once again, we're going to give up the upper hand and let the only people that take advantage of the tool be the people who don't deserve it. But anyway, great points. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, an example would be, my friend Skylights. I did a AI kind of like animation of his comic, but he very specifically says his comic is not made with AI. That's one of his selling points. But when I said that, I asked him if it was okay if I used AI to do an enhancement for the thumbnail and things like that, he was totally on board with it. He's like, oh yeah, absolutely, and then he loved the results, because technology is neutral. It doesn't inherently have a morality. And if you call it the devil and have some superstition about it and decide not to use it, then people who are going to abuse it will come along and use it anyway. And you've lost your opportunity to shape it. You've lost your opportunity to put your stamp on it. And you lost your opportunity to change the outcome. And for too long, we've lost us in the independent space, or the true fans, the people who love these IPs, the people who supported these IPs, the people who are the reason why this stuff still exists on the planet, because we've supported it. We've given it our love. We've given it our attention. But we let somebody else make it. We let somebody else take control of it. And we let somebody else gatekeep us out of it. And then we had to sit here and watch it be destroyed and run into the ground. And then we're told that it's our fault. If we let those same people take control of AI and be the only purveyors of AI, then we're making the same mistake all over again. And so, when I look at Starfighter, what I see is, yes, a good movie. Yes, an enjoyable movie. But a movie that could be brought up a notch and made even better. Because it's good as it is, but don't settle for the good when you could get the great. And I think a lot of times we settle just for the good and say it's good enough. And because of that, we don't push through to the potential greatness that can happen when people keep pushing, keep honing, and keep working towards a goal. I mean, how many great bands or good bands stopped before they took the next step of their potential, or plateaued and decided, okay, we're at the level that we need to be. We can't get any better than this. And then they coast the rest of their career. You can see band after band that's done that. But there's very few bands that kept pushing, kept honing, kept looking for the next horizon. And those are the bands that are legendary and will be forever. You know, at a certain point, people like Pink Floyd could have stopped and said, we've got success. Let's do the same thing that we did on this album next time. And then we might not have got Dark Side of the Moon. So, settling for the good. Say, it's good. Let's don't risk it, making it worse. Then you're never going to see if it could be better. And I think I see a lot of that attitude right now. Hello, John. But I think the people who shape culture, the ones that are really going to make a difference, are the ones that are saying, yes, it's good, but we could get better. We could improve. The Spider-Man movie that's in theaters right now. I see so many people that are like, well, it's not good enough for you. It's not good enough for you. And they get mad because the people are saying, yes, I enjoy it. Yes, it's good. But this, and this, weren't that good. And if you did this, it would have been better. And so people are kind of like, why can't you be satisfied? Like, that's a good thing. Be satisfied with what we give you, you know? Settle for what we give you. And it's good enough to make money. If it made money, how can you criticize it? Like the current Odyssey movie that's in theaters. And you look at Metatron or somebody like that, and they will tell you all the ways that the movie sucks. Emily Wilson, the one that they keep quoting, whose translation of the Odyssey, Iliad and the Odyssey that they keep quoting, she hates the movie. And she has her reasons why. And they're very compelling. And she's on the far left, okay? This is not a MAGA person, okay? And so there's flaws with the movie. But people are pointing at it made $1 billion. So how in the world can you critique that? Is it good? It is not a good movie. Not a good Odyssey movie. And in a lot of ways, it's not a good movie. Even though it has the casting that makes you smile and pleases your soul and virtue signals in a way that you approve of. Is it a good movie? Starfighter is a good movie. But because of the technical shortcomings, it's not quite a great movie. But it could very easily become a great movie. We have the technology. The technology that they didn't have at that day when they made the movie. We have it now. So, we either declare it a sacred cow and say we leave it as it is because it's a good movie, or we take the modern technology, the modern AI technology we have, and make it transcendent. A great movie that no one's ever going to think is dated ever again. That no one's going to look at and say, that looks like video game graphics rather than actual rendered images. And it does. Even with the 4K, it does look like video game graphics. So, you say, well, that's part of the charm. And you're content with it as is. Fine. You got what you got, you know. Got buy the 4K letterbox, call it a day. But I'm saying, if you took those dated graphics, the ones that were top of the line in 84, and here 42 years later, use what we have capable right now, you could make something that is absolutely the best thing in theaters today. I mean, maybe even take Lord and Miller with what they did with Project Hail Mary, and have them work on the special effects, work on improving the special effects. This movie's not that far off from being an all-time great. It's just not. And so, I would like to see somebody make those improvements because it has room for it. And that's not denigrating the movie at all. That's just saying, now that we can, why don't we? Anyway, I know that I've probably set some people's hairs on fire. That's not my intent. But you start talking about AI, people have a religious fervor, you know. They have actual superstitions where AI is concerned. And yes, I've seen the movies. I've seen HAL 2000. I've seen Johnny 5. I've seen Data from Star Trek Next Generation. For Colossus the Forbidden Project. You know, War Games. I've seen all of the arguments against AI. And some of the arguments for. And if we, you know, allow fear and trepidation to prevent us from embracing the possibilities, we're going to get left behind by the incompetent people who are planning to use it instead of humanity, that are planning to get rid of all their DEI hires that they've destroyed their industry with and plug in AI. You know, I'm sure there's scripts right now that are being written by ChatGPT because the writing rooms are so incompetent that ChatGPT probably does better. I'm sure it's happening already. And I'm sure that they're going to take dead actors and drag their corpses out of the grave. It's already happening. There's a movie coming out. I can't remember who the actor is that they're using, but there's a movie coming out starring, I don't know if it's starring an actor, but he's definitely a co-star. And the dude's been dead for like, I think it's Val Kilmer. Actually, it's Val Kilmer. This dude's been dead for 4 years. 4 years now. And he's got a movie coming out. That's ghoulish. Okay. And I do not agree with that use of AI. But if we, who have true creativity, who have true passion, and know what a hero is, are not going to use AI, then people that think that dragging Val Kilmer's image and likeness out of the grave and using it on a screen, there's nothing morally wrong with that. They're going to have exclusive use of it. Think about that. Anyway, that's been Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. If you've never seen Last Starfighter, or if you haven't seen it recently, check it out. I think you can rent it most platforms. I know you can definitely get it on YouTube. And if you can find the 4K version of it, I recommend that. It looks great. Not quite up to modern standards, but it looks great. So, anyway, that's been cool for Telepathic Bunny Comics. Follow the White Rabbit. We'll see you next time.